citizen on fixed income, on Social Security or disability benefits, I have breaking news. So, a survey just came out that says a large majority of seniors are stressed about grocery prices. Now, this may not surprise anyone, but I went and digged in to find out exactly what was going on. And I found overwhelming evidence online on videos that seniors are creating on social media platforms. There is a lot of anxiety around rising grocery prices. And this comes in form of this breaking news that came out of Axios that says most US adults are stressed by grocery costs. So it caught my attention and I wanted to understand what exactly is going on. And then people started talking about coffee prices as a benchmark. And they were showing coffee prices at various grocery stores, Walmart, a lot of places that have almost doubled just recently. And so when you look at that and you begin to peel away and look at individual prices of grocery items and things that people need, it is shocking how much prices have gone up and stayed up. And so I am going to share with you what this breaking news article is saying. There's actually a chart about what the prices are, what people are stressed about. And as you can see, grocery is the number one thing that 53% of adults, including seniors, are stressed about. So we're going to talk about that. And then I'm going to give you some tips on how to manage that. How can you get the best out of the money that you're getting? And specifically, I'm going to go even a step further and talk about 11 tips that seniors specifically can utilize to be able to make the best out of their grocery budget. Now, this is breaking news because to see that of all the things that people are concerned about or worried about, you would think like, finances, et cetera, grocery prices is on top of that. We have rent, we have electricity, we have transportation. Grocery is the number one thing Americans are worried about right now, and a large majority of seniors are concerned about. My name is Kwame Kwade. I am a government benefits expert. For 15 years, I've been helping seniors get the retirement benefits they deserve. I create content on Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, food stamps. That's why I'm talking about food today, and other personal finance issues that affects seniors. And this particular video is sponsored by our partners, Chapter Medicare. I'll talk to you about Chapter in a second and how they can save you $1,100 on your Medicare bill and get you in the right Medicare plan. If you are new here, welcome. I am glad you're here. Please do me a favor, go into the comment section and let me know your city and your state. Now, if you've been watching my channel for a while, I am glad you're back. Welcome. I really appreciate you. Let's get to the details of this breaking news and talk about it. So I am going to walk you through this survey. This is taken by the AP, and it shows what Americans are worried about right now when it comes to pocketbook items. The number one, and this survey was taken between July 10th to July 14th of 1,437 US adults. Cost of groceries is 53%, followed by cost of housing, 47%. The amount of money you saved, so savings are a big concern, by 43%. The amount you get paid, how much money is coming in, so including Social Security checks, 43%. Cost of healthcare, 42%. Credit card debt, 29%, which is surprising to me. Cost of childcare, 18%, and student debt, 18%. So you can see people are worried about grocery prices almost twice the rate they are worried about credit card debt. And so that is why I want to talk about this and read some of the details of this survey to you and point out exactly what's going on. Now, before I go into this, I want to know from you and your own personal experience over the last 12 months. What has been your experience with grocery prices? Do you see a noticeable difference in specific things that you buy regularly? And I mean like things that are always on your grocery list. Have you seen a price increase or a price change? And by how much? I want you to give me some examples. So I want you to go into the comments and just pick one or two items that you have noticed that there's been a price increase or a price change, because that's important, because what we're trying to do is survey seniors, and actually see where are you seeing the price increase. Recently, I read something that, ground beef has shot up by like a gazillion percent. And so we're noticing specific things: coffee, price of eggs, dairy products. I want to hear from you. What has been your grocery experience? Does this speak to you that 53% of all adults, including seniors, are worried about grocery prices? Let me know what your experience have been. I'll be looking through the comments, and I'll be highlighting what you guys are saying so that others can see how problematic this is. So pick one or two grocery items that you've just been surprised that they have gone up dramatically, and I'll share it on the screen. Now, let me read a little more of this survey and let's talk about it. So, the survey goes on to say that more than half of Americans are stressed about buying groceries, significantly more than the financial pressure they feel about credit card debt, which is what is surprising to me: childcare or student loans. Because if people are saying that they're worried more about groceries, being able to afford groceries, than about credit card debt, it means that things have gotten so bad that they are more worried about what they're going to eat than paying back their debt, which is a very, very interesting thing to read. So that was surprising to me. So here's the big picture. President Trump campaigned on the promise to bring down grocery prices, but the data shows Americans are still stressed out about affording these basic necessities. 53% of Americans said the cost of groceries was a major source of stress right now, while 33% said it was a minor source of stress. Just 14% said grocery prices was not a source of stress. So just 14% of the population thinks that grocery prices are not a source of stress for them. That is a significant number, in my opinion. The next highest source of stress were the cost of housing, the amount of money earned, and the cost of healthcare. And here's the thing: 14% in the poll also reported using buy now, pay later services on groceries so they could make the immediate purchase and pay for them in installments. Guys, let's talk about this, because this is mind-blowing and significant. People are buying groceries now and paying in installments. That's kind of like a payday kind of situation, payday loan kind of situation here, because groceries on installment that you are buying it now, it means that you are perpetually going to be behind. And the fact that 14% of the population feel the need, are so stressed financially, that they are buying groceries on credit and then pay later in installments, meaning that when you come back and you do it again, then you're adding to that installment. The next thing you know, you owe debt on groceries that you've consumed immediately. I mean, I guess it's the same way with a lot of things we buy on credit card, but it's just shocking to me that people are buying groceries now and paying later and paying them in installments. It's similar to credit card, but this buy now, pay later feature, I thought was kind of like a layaway kind of idea, and now people are using it for groceries. Let me know what you think. 17% said they had used buy now, pay later services for medical or dental care, while 14% had used it for entertainment costs. Now, food banks have been braced for the surge in need triggered by the federal food assistance changes signed by President Trump, with leaders in the Hunger Relief Network warning the gap may be impossible to fill. So, food banks are going to really feel the stress of what's going on with grocery prices, because that's where a lot of people are going to go to get help. But the problem is that the food banks are not equipped to be able to handle. I think I gave a data recently that a 10% cut in food stamps equals to all the money that the entire food bank network in the country spend on food annually. So that's how big the gap is going to be. And so I'm not surprised that people are stressed about groceries, because food banks are also stressed and thin that they cannot meet the need of people who are coming to them for help. In June, food prices jumped 3% compared to the prior year. That is according to inflation report The prices of food has soared in recent years compared to pre-pandemic data. Driving factors including supply chain disruption, the Russian invasion of Ukraine, the avian flu influenza outbreak, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. So, what are you to do? What are you supposed to do with this information? We see that grocery prices have become a big problem. So, what can you do about it? Well, I have some ideas for you that I'm about to share with you that is going to help you try to deal with this. So I'm going to share one general principles with you, and then I'm going to focus on senior specific tips that's going to help you reduce your grocery prices. So the first one is, from ABC News. They did an article recently talking about 3 tips to save grocery stores that can lower your annual bill by more than 4,000. This was on Good Morning America. So let's read it together and just figure out what they have to say and pick some. There are some good, very, very good tips here. So let me read it to you. So, looking to cut costs on groceries, one woman's method, and 3 easy tips to implement. Like many Americans scaling back at the store in order to see a smaller number at checkout, Kelly Leo was in search of new ways to save. Leo connected with the co-founder of Crazy Coupon Lady to test out some of her money-saving tips. She said, "My husband and I have 4 daughters, and so our grocery bill per month is over $1,500. You are doing better than most, but there's still a lot of savings we can find." That's so they're trying to help her, because here are the ideas. 3 tips to save. Do away with grocery delivery. The convenience does cost delivery fees, tips, and markups on some products. So by eliminating grocery delivery, you can save money. This is one thing that I've heard many, many, many times over. A lot of people think that, DoorDash is free, or Instacart. And if you have mobility issues, I understand it. But if you want to save money, those fees add up on the margins. And then buy some items in bulk. We all know this, but here's the thing: stock up on 8 weeks worth of shelf staples when they are on sale to avoid running out while waiting for the next price to drop. So when the thing goes on sale, try to stock up at least 8 weeks worth, because if you're waiting for the thing to go on sale, that is also going to cost you money, because then you have to go buy it while you wait. So when it drops, if you can, buy it for at least 8 weeks worth, because that's probably the amount of time it takes for them to put it back on sale. And then the third idea here is use the grocery store app. The Crazy Coupon Lady said customers can unlock even more savings by using grocery store app. This is something I do, and sometimes it feels like you have to download. If you shop at multiple grocery stores, it feels like you have to download a lot of apps. But it's worth it, because sometimes on the margins, you'll be able to save. You put it together a whole week and you've saved maybe $30 just by buying things from different places, and the app make it easy to know when they are running sales that you can benefit from. So I definitely agree with that. So that is from ABC News. Let me give you some more tips from other sources that I think are going to be helpful to you. So in the meantime, if you're just joining me, I am talking about grocery prices and how Americans are stressed, including seniors, about the increasing grocery prices. I've watched a lot of videos today on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, where people are just coming back from the grocery store and are in shock and are kind of showing their receipts. And I think somebody did something recently where they went to Walmart, and a few years ago they had bought a list of things, and when you're in the Walmart app, you can save the list and then you can buy that same list again. And so they were sharing the difference between what they bought in a few years ago, that same list of items, and you can just press buy it again, and now it's about 3 times the price, and from 2022 to 2025. It's mind-blowing. I know inflation has a lot to do with it, and we've been seeing, but the government keeps telling us that inflation is down now to 2 point something percent. And that's true, because the rate of increase in prices may be down, but in certain categories, it's not. And recently, the government came out with an inflation report, that inflation has started creeping up again. And so we are not out of the woods. Um, we're not out of the woods when it comes to inflation, because the government is saying that inflation is up again. So that is also going to put pressure on a lot of people and a lot of prices, because that is that means that we are in for more pain. And so sharing these ideas with you, I think, is going to be helpful to help you understand how can you save on grocery prices. So let's go back to this article. This is from US News: how to save money when grocery shopping on a budget. I read this whole article. I think there are a few tips I'm going to run you through, and then from here I'm going to give you senior specific tips. These are general tips everybody can use, but then I'm going to also give you senior specific tips from some credible sources that are going to even help you further. And then I'm going to share with you 3 different benefit programs, government benefit programs specifically applied to seniors, that can help you even save further. So stay tuned to the end of this video. I have a lot I want to cover with you. I talk about Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, food stamps, personal finance issues that affect seniors. This is important to me. And so when I saw this today, I went into a rabbit hole doing all the research, and I wanted to bring to you resources that can help you, because if 53% of seniors are concerned about grocery prices, that is serious. That is alarming. That is code red. So I'm taking it seriously. Now, as I mentioned, if you're joining me now, if you're new to this channel, welcome. If you are a repeat viewer of the channel, I am glad you're here. Do me a favor and go into the comments and let me know what you are seeing with grocery prices. Where do you shop, and what's been your experience? What specifically has gone up for you in groceries? Recently, I heard ground beef has gone up a lot. I heard that, we all know eggs. The egg situation has been quite a challenge. And I have heard people talk about coffee. Ground coffee that they were buying to make at home has gone up dramatically. And that's been a sticker shock for a lot of people. Formula for children, kids, babies have gone up a lot. I mean, I saw recently, where was I? Somewhere, and it was like $79 for like a little can of formula. I was like, whoa, that is like crazy. So my point is, obviously, we each have things that we deal with. What in your shopping budget, or what in the things that you buy regularly when it comes to groceries, has gone up dramatically? Share it in the comment section below, and I'm going to feature some of it on the screen shortly. But let me read this US News article to you about grocery savings, how to save on groceries. So let's dig into it. So here we go. So the US News is saying that if you need to, if you need some breathing room in your budget, use some of these tips. This was released July 30th. So I am talking about news organizations reacting to this thing in real time. This was just a few days ago that they released this article in response to the news I just shared with you. So most Americans household in 2025 are living paycheck to paycheck, and their financial situation may get worse as prices of many goods and services continue to rise. Groceries, in particular, are an increasing expense for many families. The price of food at home was up 2.4% in June as compared to a year ago, according to the US Bureau of Labor Statistics. Meanwhile, tariffs pushed grocery prices up to 2.8% during the first quarter of the year, an analysis by the Budget Lab at Yale found. The price of produce was up 4% during the same period because of taxes on important goods. The general point is that prices have been going up. Everywhere you look, prices are going up. And so, this is serious. Households relying on government food assistance may also find their benefits changing. The recently enacted One Big Beautiful Bill cuts $200 billion from federal nutrition assistance spending over a decade. This means less money for SNAP. The bill also enforces strict work requirements for those relying on food assistance, including seniors who has to work up to age 64 to continue to get SNAP. Whether you're worried about your assistance being reduced or feel as though you are living too close to the financial edge, your grocery budget can be a prime place to reduce spending and free up cash. So let's talk about that. The first strategy they're talking about is check your pantry. So let's read that. The first step to saving money on grocery happens before you even step outside the supermarket. Before shopping, check your pantry, freezer, and fridge to see what items you already have at home. Not only can doing an inventory check help with meal planning, but also help avoid duplicate purchases. I am guilty of this 100%. I have to confess, I am guilty of this. What I do is that when I'm out and there's something that I want to make, I'm not gonna call home and ask my wife or ask the kids like, hey, can you check and make sure this is there? I will buy it, and then I'll get home and then I realize that we already have it. And so I have, or not only overbought something, but I have wasted money on something I shouldn't have. So I am guilty of this, and I'm trying to get better at that. I need to check before. So this is directly applying to me. Number two, plan your meals. Once you know what food is already on your shelf, use that as a basis for planning a menu. Having a plan can reduce impulse purchases and help avoid those nights when you get takeout because of an overwhelming decision on what to make for dinner. Think about how an ingredient can be used multiple ways. For instance, the person is suggesting that rotisserie chicken could be stretched for several meals by using it for sandwiches, soup, and stir fry. That is so true. And if you want, rotisserie chicken, if you have a Costco in your area, BJ's, those are good places to get rotisserie chicken at an amazing price. I think Costco has kept their rotisserie chicken at $3 for decades, and they refuse to increase the price. So that's the last time I saw it. So those are some of the tips that you can rely on. Now let's read some more. Write a list. Shopping with a list has many money saving benefits. It can deter impulse purchases, ensure you pick up whatever sale items you noted in the store weekly flyer, and prevent an unfortunate situation in which you forget crucial ingredients. Many grocery stores have apps that make it easy for you to browse sales flyers, add items to an in-app list, and any clip any applicable coupons digitally. So that's important. That's what I mentioned earlier. Grocery apps are really, really important in this case, because not only can you put all the things that are on sale in your cart in the app and also clip coupons, but it also helps you see what is on sale. And you may have to download a few grocery apps to do this, but the point is that you are preparing and avoiding impulse buying. And that applies to me. They're speaking directly to me, because I go in there to go get one thing, and then I see other things and I think I need. So anyway, that's advice I'm going to take. Shop the sales. Store often provide deep discounts on a handful of items each week. Known as loss leaders, these sales are intended to get customers in the door. Be flexible when you can, when it comes to product availability and deals. Be open to substitute items and generic brands as cheaper alternative. Number 5, buy local and in season. Buy local and in season, you will save a lot of money. And I'm going to talk about farmers markets and all that. Whether you shop in a supermarket or farmers market, look for food produced nearby. Buy vegetables that are in season, and you will save money. That's because in off-season, goods need to be shipped across the country or even across the globe. Local foods don't have the transportation costs built into their prices. Plus, food produced locally is fresher and possibly more flavorful. Number 6, incorporate meatless meals. This is something that I need to do, and I'm getting better at that mindset change. So let me read that further. So going meatless even once a week can help reduce the groceries, especially when they say ground beef has gone up by 20% or so, provided you rely on inexpensive proteins and grains. For instance, start with a bowl of beans, rice, and other grain, and add vegetables, sauce, or sprinkling of cheese. The internet is full of vegetarian dishes, or you can look for a cookbook such as the Weekday Vegetarian that can help you be able to do that. And then sign up for loyalty programs. That's a no-brainer. I'm sure a lot of you already do that, but it all adds up. All these techniques are all going to add up, and then you're going to save a ton of money. So if you live in a community with multiple grocery stores, shop at the one that has a robust loyalty program. These programs may provide access to special pricing or award points. that can be later used. What's more, loyalty programs may come with apps that deliver personalized offers and deals in real time. I actually agree with that. Use the coupon app. So there are a lot of coupon apps out there that you can use, and in some cases you can clip in store. For instance, Ebola offers cashback on certain purchases and can be linked to loyalty programs from stores such as Kroger and Walmart. Number 9, time your shopping right. If you're hungry or tired, you may be more likely to impulse buy. Let me talk about this because I do that all the time. And I have noticed, because every time I go to the grocery store and I'm hungry, I am grabbing bananas and protein drinks, even though nobody in my house eats bananas. I'm grabbing bananas, I'm grabbing protein drinks, and things that would not be on my shopping list if I wasn't hungry. So I have noticed that I do that a lot. So that is also advice I need to take. And then skip prepared and packaged food. It's more convenient to buy prepared food, but you pay extra whenever possible. Buy whole foods with minimal amount of processing and packaging, obviously for health reasons. For instance, purchase a whole watermelon rather than wedges, or plain rice, and you can season at home rather than pre-made rice pilafs. Cooking from scratch can save you money. I think we all know that. I don't need to go through that. Try canned and frozen foods. While packaged foods, fresh foods can be more expensive, canned and frozen goods can be a deal. However, don't simply grab whatever your eye catches. A lot of vendors bid for where their product are placed, so you have to look around the bottom of the shelf to find the good stuff. And then stock up on deals. I already talked about that. So these are some good ideas. Look for private label. Aldi has been one of the places that I go to and save a lot of money on groceries. Aldi's has been a game changer since COVID. I just discovered Aldi, and now that is my favorite grocery store. I just go there, and especially for produce and stuff like that, you get great prices from Aldi's, eggs, milk, and so forth. So, but private label is important. So if you go to places like Target, Walmart, the store brand is equally as good. So virtually all grocery stores sell their own products under their house brand name, known as private label. These goods are often the same quality as the name brand. My wife tells me that the um, Walmart cheddar cheese, like the block cheese, is as good as anything she buys from anywhere. So those are some of the ideas of, like, you know, not always buying the label brands, but also looking at the store brands. And it may depend per store, because not every store is going to have great things for everything. If obviously, if you shop at um, Costco, a lot of their stuff is also top notch. So it just depends on your preference. But a lot of the stores have their own private label stuff, and it's worth looking at that. And then let's see here. What else do they have to say? Now, let's see. And then compare unit prices. That can be tricky. That takes a lot of time. And then buy in bulk. We've already talked about that. Avoid food waste. Watch for product markdowns. Try new stores, like I did with Aldi. Consider reward credit card if you can be disciplined about it and think outside the box. So these are all great ideas. These are all very good ideas that I think I'm gonna take a lot of it. I mean, there's so many things here that I read today, and I realized that there's ways for me to save even more on groceries that I'm currently doing. So I'm really excited to dig in some of these tips. But let me go to senior specific tips that I read, because I think that's going to be very helpful to you. So let me share my screen, stop sharing this, and then go to some senior specific tips. And then after that, I'm going to talk about some government benefit programs that are targeted at seniors that can help you save even more. As you can see, I'm very excited about this because I feel like this is the kind of things I want to bring to you guys. Do the research and bring you not just the news, but what you can do about it is important to me. So let me share my screen and talk to you about senior specific tips. So Here we go. So there's one from, I think I like this one from the AARP. So let's talk about that. It says 11 mistakes retirees make at the supermarket. It's not just inflation. I hope you can see this. Right. Good. So it says it's not just inflation. Your bad habits may explain why you are paying more at the grocery store. So they're coming hot. So let's read what they're saying. Number one, missing out on senior discounts. A number of grocery stores across the country offer discounts to people over a certain age, typically worth 5 to 10% off your grocery bill. Senior discounts are generally offered on a specific day of the week. Some big chains, such as Giant and Safeway, don't offer them on every location, but their individual stores may. So check with your local store. I think that's important. A lot of with senior discounts, I have been saying this, you have to ask. As a senior, everywhere you go, just ask for, hey, do you have a senior discount? And you'll be surprised because a lot of people don't advertise their discounts. A lot of employees don't know to offer it. And so you just ask. And grocery stores do, some of them even open at a specific period for seniors, and so it's good to just find out. Even if it's 5%, that's a lot. Add that over time and you're going to save a lot of money. So that's the first one. Number two, shopping without a plan. We've talked about that. Create a plan for a week before you head to the grocery store to ensure you only buy what you need. When crafting your weekly menu, look for recipes with overlapping ingredients so you can use everything you buy in its entirety. You can take this one step further by reviewing local store ads to see what's on sale when picking recipes, and use these discounted foods to save more. Also, check your refrigerator, freezer, pantry before you shop. We've talked about that already. Buying out of season produce. We've already talked about that. So you're seeing some consistency here. Overlooking frozen fruits and vegetables. And there's been a lot of research about this, that, a lot of frozen fruits and vegetables are equally good, especially those that have been like fast frozen when they were cut fresh, are equally good and have all the nutrients. So it's a place worth looking. And then overbuying bulk foods. So the fact that it's in bulk does not mean that you have to overspend on it. So that's really, really important. And I know it contradicts something I said earlier, but if you're buying something in bulk, make sure that you're also not overspending. Buy, about 8 weeks worth of the item. And then if it comes back on sale, you can buy it. But, you don't need to buy half a year's worth of it, because then that's taking a lot of money and putting it towards one item. Sticking to the center aisle. The center aisle of the supermarkets are filled with often pricey packaged goods, whereas the perimeter of the store is primarily where you find meat, fish, dairy, and produce. Not only is it more beneficial to your diet for these categories to make up the majority of your meals, but it's also beneficial to your wallet. When you're buying a lot from the center aisle, you are paying more for convenience and packaging. That's what you need to remember. Center aisle, you're paying for convenience and packaging. And also, it may not be the healthiest. Buying non-food items at the supermarket. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to share this article, because I think that for convenience sake, a lot of us go to a grocery store and pick up, paper towels, toilet paper, laundry detergent, and all these things. But there are other places you can get these items much, much, much. And I am positive I have experienced the price difference where I'll pick up something and I go to, a Walmart and realize that, oh, I could have gotten it much, much cheaper. Or I could have gone into a Costco and got it much, much cheaper. But for convenience, I pick up a laundry detergent at the grocery store. Not using grocery store apps. We've talked about that. Being too loyal to one major brand. Being too loyal to major brands. That's also something we talked about, that it pays to pay attention to the off brands, to pay attention to store brands, and that may be specific to your preference. You may like the cheese better at Aldi's store brand, and you may like something else better at Costco, and you may like something better at your local grocery store. But it's important to buy or look into non-big name brands. Using the wrong credit card, if you can get cash back, throwing away receipts. Don't toss your grocery receipts without checking them for deals first. Some receipts may offer coupons for local businesses or even coupons for money off future grocery purchases. I recently got a deal from Sprouts for $10 off 75, which is what the writer is saying. She recommends wrapping the receipt around your credit card so you don't forget to use it the next time you shop. So she advises using the Fetch app to take photos of receipts and earn points that can be redeemed for gift cards for a variety of retailers and restaurants. So that's another tip for you. So that is what I wanted to share with you regarding groceries. Now I'm going to go into the comment section and see what you guys have been saying. Let's see here so I can share some of it to you. So let's see. All groceries are double. This is from Lisa. Household 7 pack underwear, $42. Walmart. I heard many Walmarts are closing due to tariffs. Trump has let down the majority of seniors and disabled who rely on Social Security and SSDI. Housing, 1 bedroom. Okay, so this one is worth sharing. Lisa Wally. Housing, 1 bedroom, 670, now $995 since 2022. That's a lot. Lisa again is saying Jimmy Dean sausage has gone up. Let's see. Another person, housing, 1 bedroom apartment has gone up 975 to 1200 in 1 year. Donna, I think I have seen this name before. I think you're a regular viewer of the channel. Thank you for coming back. Ground beef has gone up. Coffee instant is cheaper these days. Instant coffee, yeah, I agree. Groceries, meat, beef primarily, and cheese are higher. So that's another feedback. Ground beef is higher in small sizes, about same for larger. So that's a tip that everybody should know. Here's Carol, price hike coffee. I get a case of Folgers Black Silk from Amazon for $54. It has jumped to $84. Wow, that is a lot. I mean, what percentage change is that? That's like $30 increase. That is more than 50%. That's huge. That's a bit. That's troubling actually. Um, the other trouble is incessant tipping. I hear some grocery stores have tip machines. Oh my God, don't get me started on this one. Don't get me started on tips. I feel I'm getting annoyed every time I go anywhere and you buy something and you're just buying the thing, you're standing there, and then they turn the thing around and tell you to answer a question. I'm like, what question? Like, give me the service I have paid for. Why do I have to tip you to go get me the thing I just ordered? Okay, I can go on a tangent, so I'm not going to. But I think it has gotten out of control. And they have the audacity to put 15, 20, 25%. I just bought a cup of coffee and you want me to tip you 20% to go get me the coffee. I'm not sitting down. You are not providing me any more service. You're just at the register taking my order. And now you turn around and you want me to, and I think that's sucking up a lot of money, because you're tipping $1 here, and sometimes they guilt you about it, because they ask you, oh, are you do you want to leave a tip? I'm like, no. And then it sours the whole thing, and then you are worried that they're going to tamper with your food or they're going to give you the worst product. I don't know. It's just the tip culture has gone out of control. All right, I'm going to stop. Let's see. Yeah, so Donna, yes, I shop at 3 different stores a month. That's great. Uh, it's tariffs, fear of tariffs. I agree. A lot of fear is driving some of these things. Here is another one. Antonio, I am not believing anything what I know is when I go to the store, we are paying on average $3 increases even for simple things. Milk is approaching $9 a gallon. Even processed meat is up. Man, it's hard out there. It is really really rough out there. Um, let's see. Um, Here's Gigi. Coffee, soda, juice, egg, ground beef, steak, chicken, snacks, bakery, produce, rice, paper products, everything everything Massachusetts. Ice cubes, 5.49 a bag for 5 pound is insane. Yeah, going out of to eat is even crazy. I mean, like, yeah, that's a whole different video to just talk about going out to eat because I heard somebody was talking today about they were driving and then they were hungry and they were going to go to home, but they just had to get to Burger King and get something real quick, and it was like $12, and they were shocked that even Burger King, like basic meals. So there's, yeah, price increases, and going out to eat, if you're more than three people, you are definitely paying over $100. Vegetables are my biggest problem. Hard to store and more expensive than junk food. Yeah, I agree. Let's see. Somebody's talking about Snap. I get $23 a month in Snap benefits now. What can I do with $23? I agree with you, but here's one thing I'll tell you. Two things. Number one, your Snap card allows you to be able to go to farmers market and double your produce. So even if it's $23, if you go to farmers market that are participating in the double, I think it's called double box program, BUCK, um, you can double your produce. So I know $23 is nothing, and I have done a lot of videos on this, and I'm going to do some more research and give you techniques on how you can increase your food stamps benefit. But here's the thing: if you if you use that $23 and just go to a farmer's market and you buy $20 worth of produce, you can get $20 of produce for free. So you've doubled that $23 to at least $40. So that's a program that you should look into. So that is important. In addition to all the benefits that you get with having an EBT card, getting Amazon Prime at 50%, Walmart Plus Assist at 50%. But for pure produce, go to farmers market, you will double your produce. I promise you that. Go to, I think it's called Double Box America. Um, uh, yeah, Double Box program. So go to Double Up America. That's what it's called. Double Up America. Let me put it up on the screen. And it's one of the programs that I think a lot of people don't know about when it comes to Snap. And so let me bring that up for a quick second. So here it is. So this program is in every state. It may be called something different in your state, but it's in every single state. You get double the fruits and vegetables up to $20. So this particular version, Double Up America, is in 25 states, but all 50 states have it. And if you go to this website, doubleupamerica.org, it will show you, what it is called in your state. So when you click on states, you see what I just did there? You can scroll through and then it will tell you what the program is called in your state. And I promise you, in some states, it's even up to $30 in produce. You get 30 back for free. And you can do it as many times as you want. Every week you can go and do the same thing and you'll get it. So you go, they'll give you a little token, they'll swipe your EBT card, they'll give you some tokens, and you can use the tokens to buy produce and get double the produce. So that is one way to save on that. So another thing I want, since we are on this, let me bring you to some more senior specific programs that can help you save money on food groceries. So I went to the government website, usa.gov. It's kind of an aggregate for a lot of government programs. and food assistance programs for older adults. And there are 3 specific programs they're talking about. The Senior Farmers Market Nutrition Program provides coupons for fresh fruits, vegetables, honey, and herbs. You can use the coupon at farmers markets, roadside stands, and commodity farms. If you qualify for it, here's the USDA page that talks about the program. It's a program that's been around for a while. So if you go to the USDA page, you can see what this particular program is about and the qualifications for it. It's called the Senior Farmers Market Nutrition Program. And then the other program they are talking about is the Commodity Supplemental Food Program. Provides a monthly package of healthy food. USDA distributes food to local agencies where you can pick it up. In some states, you may be eligible to have the food delivered. So age is 60 and older, and you have to have income below 125% of the federal poverty level. So what does that mean? I have okay, so I'm going to show you what the federal poverty level means shortly, but this is the second program. It is also through the USDA. So let's go to that website, and here it is, the Commodity Supplemental Food Program. So these are programs that can help you save money if you are eligible. So what is 125% of the federal poverty level? Let's see. I believe I have an image that I created recently that talks about the federal poverty level. So I do actually. So let me pull it up and let's look at it. So as an individual, 100 less than 185%, well 135, so it doesn't go that far. So I will come back probably tomorrow and give you a better number, or I can just go to the USDA website and show you the income eligibility. There we go. So here's what they have for the program. So as an individual, 100% of the federal poverty level is 15,000, and 150% is 23,000. So it may be like 25,000. But for the program I just talked about, if you make less than 23,000, you qualify. So that's what it means. If you make less than $23,000, you qualify for that. So that's something to think about. Now let's see. So 23 doesn't even buy a sandwich. I agree with you. I end up eating like once a week. Can't go to soup kitchen because number 1, I'm in a wheelchair, and number 2, I can't drive. I feel you. Yeah, I think this is the thing, and I've always said this. If you've been watching my channel, I have said this for a while. No senior citizen who has worked and paid into the system should live in poverty at retirement. That's what I believe, and you cannot convince me otherwise. I think that it is a shame, and so yeah, that's my opinion about that. Let's see. All right, and let me see some other. All right, so here is. Okay, let me try and see if there's any other comments I can pull up, because I want to make sure that if somebody's saying something, I can here. Okay, here we go. In Nevada, we get $50 senior farmers market vouchers, but they only print so many. Just because you're eligible doesn't mean you'll get it. Thank you for that information. I will do some research about that and understand better what are the techniques that allow you to be able to get the voucher. So I that's good feedback, and thank you for sharing that. All right, guys. So I mean, this was really good. I'm going to do some more research now that I know that a lot of seniors are experiencing this. I am going to do some more research and see what I can find to bring you more more ideas, more techniques, but most importantly, how you can stretch your budget, how you can get on these government commodity assistance programs and the farmers market program, the double up programs that can stretch your budget. So I'm going to create a whole guide and see that now. Um, yeah, so I know that is a stressful time, and I want to make sure that I'm providing you the best resource that can help you get the best out of your retirement, get the best out of your social security check, and also be able to get ahead of this grocery price issue that we're experiencing. As always, if you are in a Medicare program that you are not sure is the best program for you, there is money that you can save, and our partners, Chapter Medicare, can help you. We trust these guys because they are coming at this problem from a great place. They actually have personal experience and frustration with the Medicare program. And so they set up this company to fix that. And over 2,000 of you have already called them and gotten yourself into a better Medicare plan. You can save $1,100 a year. And these are the guys you'll be talking to. So call them today, 539-205-2147, the number you see on the screen, or I'm going to put a link in the comments. If you call them, the advice is free, and they will tell you if you're in the right plan. If you're not, they'll get into the right plan. They are not there to sell you anything in particular. They will look at everything that's available to you and put you in the right Medicare plan. Why is it important for us? Because the Trump administration just sued a whole bunch of Medicare advisors that were defrauding seniors. So if we are working with an advisory companies, you know we've done our research and we know that they are the best. And over 2,000 of you have already called them and gotten into a better Medicare plan. So give Chapter a call today if you haven't. The minimum, they will tell you you are in the plan that is good for you and that's the best for you. And if you're not, they will save you a ton of money because there's nothing worse than needing care and not having the right Medicare plan to cover it. So thank you guys for hanging out with me this Tuesday evening. And I hope that I provided you value. If you did, then hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share this video with anybody you think needs to be aware of what's going on with groceries and how to save money. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you.